Hey gang, on forums and some YouTube videos, you'll see people trying to remove or go after just about everything with good old WD-40. Very entertaining. But on a more serious note, I've passed this a couple times and I've been kind of dying to try this out. It is the WD-40 Specialist. It is a heavy-duty cleaner degreaser. Let's give it a try. Okay, we'll start the testing off nice and easy. I have a dirty wheel, but it's pretty much a little bit of brake dust and some light dirt with rust underneath it. Don't expect it to remove the rust, of course, but we'll give it a nice thick layer. Let it dwell for a couple minutes. And I have that detail brush, nice soft. The bristles are soft. It was a makeup brush, so if that thing removes dirt during agitation, then you know the chemical is at least half decent. So that's why I like to bring it along during the testing of these chemicals. What I use for everyday cleaning is just a little bit more aggressive than that. So if this here brush works, then I know pretty much everything I have will work with the cleaner. So for the wheel here, I'll just agitate the surface lightly. We'll do a thorough rinse. I'll dry it off quickly. We'll come in and see how the product is done. Alright, that's good enough. Let's rinse it off thoroughly. Get the residue and the broken down dirt and brake dust off of there, and I'll dry it. So for the first little test here, it's done decent as expected. That was just some surface dirt, a little bit of brake dust stuck on there, some mud on top of the rust, and it's gotten rid of everything, so that's a good start. For the next test, and we've been on this mat before, we'll run a line straight across the whole mat. We'll agitate with a little brush. We'll mop up as much as we can with an old towel, and we'll see what kind of work it's done. Alright, now this was a little bit disappointing and a tiny step backwards, but it took some of the soiling off, but left the stains. There's 2 or 3 stains there that it seemed like it didn't quite touch. So let's move on. We're going to go back out to the Jaguar transmission casing, and we'll spray a layer on there just like we have before. We'll let it dwell for a couple seconds. We'll come in with the detail brush and see if it's breaking anything down on that casing. What we're looking for here is when we spray it on, some of the aggressive top shelf cleaners will actually have a puddle of grease and oil below it as it drips down because it's breaking it down right away. There are also some we've sprayed on here, and even with like aggressive agitation, it does nothing. So this here is a tiny step below some of those other ones, but it actually is doing work, so I'll give it credit for that. Those of you that have been following along with the series, with the testing of these cleaners and degreasers, already know what we're kind of looking for and can see the differences between some of these cleaners. We've already been here to this trailer before. Yes, I'm back at the junkyard. So we're going to pick off another 2 foot square, something like that, and we'll spray it on like we have the others. We'll let it dwell for a little bit, do its work, and we'll come in with the brush. Now, it takes a little bit of time to get it going, kind of activating the product, but it actually does a better job than a lot of them have, but it doesn't break it down right away like the top tier cleaners, like your Super Cleans, Purple Powers, and Spray 9s did. So, like I said, it seems like it's just a small step behind those guys, but not far. A better way to explain it is it's a little bit slower in its chemical reaction to break down some of these, some of the soiling, some of the dirt, some of the grime. But once it gets going, I gotta tell you, it does a half decent job. Now, since I want to see if it separates itself from the middle tier cleaners, I want to keep the testing going. So we're going to keep going through the junkyard here. We'll go to a vehicle that has strictly just mud, and we'll just spray it on and watch it break down the dirt. Just very light agitation, and the dirt's gone and is running off the truck. Alright, we've done a chrome wheel. How about a factory alloy wheel? This car I don't think has been sitting there too long, so this is some fresh brake dust. And in between the spokes, some brake dust that's actually caked on, so this will be a decent test as well. I let it sit and dwell for a few seconds, and I'll come in with that soft detail brush. I'll do a quarter of the wheel. I don't really have water to rinse it off, so I'm going to have to actually waste a little product to kind of rinse off the dirt. And we'll come in and see what kind of work it's done. So it has removed the brake dust as well as some of the bonded contaminants on the spoke and in between the spokes. And one last test, and who knows what this is, combined with mold, mildew, dirt, and everything else that's back here. We'll give this a try. We'll spray it on just as we have the other panels. Come in with the brush. And again, it's a little late compared to some of the other top shelf products, but once it gets going, it really starts to break that stuff down quick, so not bad. Alright guys, so I put it through the paces as I have the other cleaners and degreasers. So if you want to compare and you need to run back through some of those older videos, go ahead. I'll put a link down below if you want to give it a try. There's no odor to it. Has a tinge of soapy smell. It is clear. As for what it's safe to be used on, metals, plastics, rubbers, carbon fiber, and sensitive metals and materials such as copper, aluminum, and chrome. So there you have it. This is Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.